Well, we have Allie Payne from Entergy on the phone right now. Allie, everyone wanting to talk to you this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm sure you're being bombarded. Tell us, we had hoped to avoid the rolling power outages, but is it MISO that just determined that these would begin taking place in Southeast Texas?
Yeah, that's right. So this morning we initiated rotating outages among our customers in the eastern portion of our service territory, which includes Jefferson, Orange, Hardin, and Liberty counties. As you mentioned, this area was not a part of our periodic power outages yesterday, but we are taking this action as directed by our reliability coordinator, MISO, and this is a last resort measure in order to prevent a more prolonged, extensive power outage that could certainly severely affect the reliability of the power grid.
Good morning, Natalie. How long do you guys expect the rolling blackouts to last today?
Yeah, so we're still in the process of determining, the rotating portion in our eastern area of our service territory, which will be the Golden Triangle area. At this point, the high electrical demand has caused the power shortage. So what we're trying to do is get generation to meet the demand, and as we kind of bring that up, that would limit the need for these periodic outages.
How do you determine, Allie, where you're going to have these? I know my home, I've been watching, it's been out for maybe about 3 hours. Is everybody going to experience the same, or certain areas will experience it for a longer period of time? And how do you determine who's next?
Right. So we certainly go through. We have lists pulled for situations like this. The reality is when we get these directives from our reliability coordinator, we go through and eliminate issues or areas that would impact critical customers like hospitals that need to continue to operate. So once we pull those, we then have a list that we can kind of circulate through. So those are kind of how the decisions are made.
For those residents that still have power as we speak, how can they conserve energy to prevent an outage?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're certainly seeing quite a bit of demand on the system. I know in our western area, we were reaching all-time peak of demand. Certainly, we're seeing that not just in our service territory, but really across the state as we're really grappling with these incredibly cold temperatures. The fact that everybody is at home right now and using energy. So there are a number of things that we could do, that customers can do to reduce demand on the system, which overall, could help. Some of those things are just looking at your thermostat, lowering that to, at least 68 degrees, not doing laundry, doing dishes, or running your dishwasher, things like that could use a lot of energy.
All right, what's your best advice, Ellie? I know we've had a lot of people contact us and say, what do I do? Because it's really cold inside my home. Power's been out for several hours, but I can't get on the roads and go to a warming station or somewhere warmer. What's your best recommendation for those folks? And is there a limit of how long they may be without power? Like, do you say, okay, this section's been 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, or could it be days?
Yeah, so we were given our notice, first thing this morning, which is why customers started receiving messages and started seeing the impacts of those outages. So our teams are definitely working on plans to determine, the impact to customers. Certainly, we're doing everything that we can to get generation up to meet that demand. And as we do that, that would limit the need for these outages and the impact of them. So our teams are certainly working on that. And if I have more information, I'll definitely let you guys know. As far as things that customers can do, try to keep the heat indoors. Don't go outside. Don't limit the amount of times that you walk in and out. You know, if you have a gas fireplace, you know, get that on. But certainly if people have things like alternate heating sources that they're already using if they have power, or if they have a generator that they're trying to kick on due to an outage, certainly make sure that you are using those safely. And I know that we have a number of tips on the Entergy Storm Center that can assist customers.
You know, what are some of the challenges for you guys, and then also the factors of getting power restored whenever you can as quickly as you guys can?
Yeah, so I mean, the challenges that we're facing are just these extreme temperatures. As many people heard in the forecast just before this, it's just creating an extensive amount of demand on the system. Some of the things that we have issues with as far as, you know, restoring power, something that we call cold load. It's basically as groups are going through, whether they're rotating outages or restoring, you know, power to customers, and they can see that where, you know, when the power goes out, we may have had everything on full blast in our home. And certainly when we switch that power back on, we see an increase, a spike. So sometimes we have to kind of move in slower fashion simply because of that, because we have to manage the load on the system. So, you know, if you are without power and you're at home, you know, go through and unplug, you know, major appliances, things like that. That may help to reduce that, and then kind of go around your home and gradually add them back on.
Okay, now, Allie, typically we would call 1-800-9-OUTAGE if we have an outage, but you're asking folks not to do that unless they have a critical need, right?
That's correct, yeah. So we know that if you are a part of these rotating outages, we know that you're out. So if you do have an emergency, certainly give us a call at 1-800-ENTERGY.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Best of luck to you and to your linemen. We know they're out there in these freezing temperatures. We will keep that in mind and hopefully bring our patients along as well. Thanks, Allie.
Great. Thank you.